It's Monday, the 2nd of February, the beginning of week 7. Now, I didn't do very much for Elah last week in week 6, but that's because we were on holiday. We got to go to Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is a beautiful city. I did take a ton of photos and was intentional in still trying to engage with people daily on threads. And that has actually partly inspired something that I wasn't expecting. I thought I'd be primarily focused on 3D printing, actually as part of the end product. And while these cable clips will be 3D printed, I can do them, I can make them to order, and I'd love to be able to even engrave either people's names or what the cable is, actually build that into the 3D print. And 3D printing really thrives for that, is perfect for that. One thing I shared was this little personal iPod dock project. People really loved this. In part of making it, I tried to weigh it down by putting some air drying clay in the base. If I were to sell this as a product, actually the base isn't heavy enough. I want the base to, it needs to be heavier than the iPod so that you can undock the iPod without having to also hold the base down with your other hand. I want this to be something you can just do with one hand. The other thing is, that even if I were to be able to do that with air drying clay, putting air drying clay in manually just seems like a pain. But now seems like the perfect time to try manufacturing on a small scale. I've been able to get to this stage, craft a design I'm really happy with. And there are plenty of companies that could 3D print this, but in resin for me. Or even CNC it out of a block of aluminium. So that is where I'm at right now, wondering whether to experiment, order a prototype of this, and keep the conversation going on threads and see whether or not this is still something that people would love. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That'll be something I'm thinking about this week and may even go around to ordering. Have a great week. I'll see you in the next one.